Hey, what it do? It's Husk out here, man. Tune in, get your popcorn ready, get your beverage of choice ready. About to listen to the Husk Out High School Sports Show podcast, man. Informative. You know it's going to be great coaching, great players, and great commentary. Sit back, enjoy it. Husk Out. Peace. You just listened to part one of the Husk Out High School Sports Show podcast with head coach DJ Mann out of Lubbock Coronado High School. Sit back with an interview with your beverage of choice and get ready for part two. Husk Out podcast show with Coach DJ Mann, the head coach of Lubbock Coronado High School. Peace.
You turned that around and said 2-8 to y'all went from 2-8 to what?
Like 7-4, maybe. Yeah,
what would you attribute that turnaround to? Because people talk about that, but how do you actually turn around a team from 2-8 to next season they won 4 or 5 more games they did the previous year?
Players win games, bro. Don't let these coaches tell you we had some talent.
Yeah.
We had a run of talent and we had a good scheme, man. We had some kids that can make plays. Like I said, we had a kid named Dayo Oyendimbo. He's in the NFL. He's like first-day draft pick, second-day draft pick, I think. We got starting running backs at Texas Tech right now. We had a quarterback that went to Stephen F. Austin to play safety. We had a safety receiver that's starting at Angelo State. You know,
Jimmy and Joe's.
We had a good run of talent, and we put it together. And you know, sometimes it's we got the right bounces. We beat Dallas Carter that year and didn't complete a pass.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So I think we ended up getting third in the district that year. Yeah, behind Midlothian Heritage and Alvarado.
Okay. So how long were you there? 3 years, 4 years? 1 year. Okay. So you're there 1 year.
Not even
and then
the whole full year, man.
You got a big job came open for you?
Did it, man. Jordan McGuire got on at Baylor.
Okay.
Right? Carlos Lynn gets the Cedar Hill job. I'm driving up I-35. I can probably go I'm up 45 right now. Driving up 45 on my way to Carrollton. I get a call. How you doing? This Carlos Lynn. I need a quarterback coach would love to meet with you. I said, Coach Lynn, I'll turn around right now. I'll call in to work. I'll turn around right now. And I'll come to Cedar Hill and meet you. He's like, no, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. Just when we get a chance, I want to sit down and talk. Man, I'm calling. Hey, Coach Gilbert, man, I'm finna meet with Coach Lynn. You think you can put a good word in for me? Hey,
now,
man,
how did you connect that? You already knew Coach Gilbert and you knew the Coach Gilbert knew Coach Lynn?
I've been knowing Coach Gilbert for a long time, man. And I'd always I coached against Coach Lynn when I was at Wiley. He was at Seguin.
Okay.
And, I always heard good things about him. And, I'd send him my resume. He don't have anything. Send my resume. Don't have it. Send Coach McGuire my resume. I've been sending Coach McGuire my resume since like 2010.
Wow. Guys, look, young coaches, listen to this. He didn't stop. So if it ain't all coming for you this year, next year, keep trying.
Been
keep
sending
going,
Coach McGuire my resume for years. Never had anything come open, but I'm sending it every year. Send it to Coach Lynn. Man, Coach Lynn called me and said, you want to come to Cedar Hill? I said, man, I have to. It's closer to the house. It's easier for my family. I'm not driving, and it's Cedar Hill.
Yeah. And so that was a no-brainer.
Nah, it was a no-brainer.
Okay. What was that like with the coach you were at, though? So, like, how did you break that news to the coach that was, the head coach where you was at?
He had a feeling that I wouldn't be there long.
Why was that?
He just knew that some bigger things were going to come, some better things would possibly come, and he knew that Ranchview wasn't a long-term place for me. And I love Ranchview, man. Like I could have stayed. I mean, man, we went to state and track. I mean, we did some good things at Ranchview in that 1 year, but he knew that I couldn't say no to being at a place like I said no to somebody once that's still playing.
Oh yeah, you did say that. You know
what I'm saying? And he knew I wasn't gonna do it again.
Looking back, Coach, when you said no to that first team, did you kind of think like, man, what if I would accept it, or do you kind of say everything happened for a reason?
Everything happens for a reason. I mean, if I would have accepted it, I would have been in a really good spot. I would have had an opportunity to play for some rings.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't have the opportunity to know Coach Lynn like I know Coach Lynn. I wouldn't know Coach Ray Gates like I know Ray Gates. I wouldn't know DeMarcus Harris like I know DeMarcus Harris. So relationships matter in this business, man. Like relationships matter.
Mm-hmm.
And I had some great relationships.
So you get to Cedar Hill. So you done been at quite a few jobs. You're here and there. You get to Cedar Hill, pretty big time. Walk me through that. Walk me through the expectations and the thoughts that were, coming with that one.
You replace Joy McGuire, man, and it's like, what are you gonna do? I've never been in a program with 85 kids on varsity, and the potential to sign 15 to 25 kids a year going, to college. Got an opportunity to go to state every single year.
Yeah.
Every single year. Like, people talk about, we want to go to state, we want to do this. Well, at Cedar Hill, you actually have that opportunity. Duncan, you have that opportunity. Soto, you have that opportunity. I'm at that place now, and I'm like, I can't trick this off, because I knew how important it was for Coach Lynn. When I got to Cedar Hill, I wanted to win games for Coach Lynn. I know there's not a lot of African Americans in a position to be successful like that. So my whole thing was like, man, I want to win for Coach Lynn. I want people to know that there's some brothers that can coach ball.
Yeah.
So that's what it was about, man.
Wow, you blessed with that one, Coach. Like, you didn't get in there saying it's about me. You're saying I gotta help elevate this coach, because in essence he's representing all of us. That's powerful. That's powerful. So you got there. How was that? That was first couple of years, because when you got there, Cashapp wasn't there, was he?
Nah, man, it was tough, man.
Yeah, I remember that first year Brother Carlos got there, because I know Brother Carlos from church, and we grew up since I was a knee high. And with that first year, I remember it wasn't. I don't think it was as smooth as it ended up becoming.
I played 5 quarterbacks in the first 5 games.
Yeah, I think I remember that too.
And I get online. People in the Metroplex look different. I get online, and people like, Coach Mann need to be fired.
Woo-hoo.
I'm like, I didn't get him hurt.
Yeah.
We have 4 quarterbacks get hurt, man. I'm playing my JVB team guy, and he's coming in and winning games. And it was tough, man. We had to forfeit a game. We don't make the playoffs. Of course, everybody wants us fired.
Oh, yeah.
They want us all fired, but we knew, like, we're going to be okay. We got guys coming. We're going to be okay. We'll get it turned around. Got a new offensive coordinator the next year, Coach K-Mo. But that first year was rough. The second year, we come out, we cooking, man. I got my man Shane at QB, big-time dude. He can throw it around. Gets hurt, comes back and plays. We get upset in the first round at home.
By
J.J. Pierce, one of the largest upsets in history. So what happens? Everybody wants us fired. It's tough. We okay, we good. Cat named Caden Salter shows up. We like, we got us a dude, got me a QB, and man, I worked my ass off with Caden, man.
Yeah.
We worked hard to just he could play when he got there. I ain't trying to make it seem like I created this monster, but man, we worked hard. We worked hard, bro. Just tuning up little things that people wouldn't know. And he balls out. We lose in the second round to Dengar.
Yeah, I remember that one.
The onside kick thing, and I'm considering getting out of coaching.
Why, Coach?
I was hurt, bro.
Wow. Just out that instance? Wow.
We finna get fired. I'm done, man. I'm gonna go. I just got my master's. Got my master's a few years earlier. I'm like, man, I gotta find something else to do. I don't know if I can do like coaching. Take like this job right now, man. I told my wife like it's gonna take years off my life. I apologize.
Wow. Yeah.
And but we like, hey, they hire us again the next year, and what do? We go to the state championship and come up short. But it was just good to see Coach Lynn get the recognition, because a lot of people kind of weren't on him because of how things were going at Cedar Hill. But we knew like we were close, and people didn't realize what we had to deal with at a place like Cedar Hill. And we made the most out of it, and had some success last year.
Now, Coach, when you say, for instance, you say we it's like y'all knew that y'all were going to get better. What was you attributing that to? Was it because you figured y'all had a good coaching staff, y'all had a good foundation? Like what made you confident in the sense of saying we're going to get better, even though it was kind of some turbulence there?
Coach Lynn is one of the most organized people I've ever met. DeMarcus Harris is one of the most phenomenal defensive minds I've been around. Ray Gates, phenom. You see what he did with the defense this year. There's a lot of guys. Kevin Benjamin, Coach Morales on the offensive side. We had dudes, and then Caden Salter.
See, no, that I want to say
that he was gonna be the man.
See, so how much is it? And I'm not being funny. I'm saying just literal. Is it we get K-Salt and it's like, it's for the change, or is it K-Salt plus the staff? Like, you know what I'm saying? How much is it getting that star versus it was the staff? Like, you know what I'm saying? Was it just a mixture? Okay.
People. I get on Facebook, man. I see it. Cedar Hill didn't play as good this year. And they relied on K-Salt too much. We did. Hell, you supposed to. Joker was a 11 quarterback. Why wouldn't you? He was a phenom, but we outcoached some people. Like, we beat some big. We beat Alito.
Yeah.
We beat Tomball Memorial. We beat Rockwall.
Y'all beat DeSoto that year.
Yeah, we beat DeSoto this year, and we out-coached some people, man. We got some guys on that staff that can really coach ball. Now, we have phenomenal players. Players win games, but we could actually coach ball. And then, K-Salt was different, dog. He different.
He was. When you, I would see, for people who don't listen to this, I would see coming to games early, for taking pictures or whatnot. I would see you out there working with them, and I had said, one thing I admired about K-Salt doing his pre-workout, doing his going through his stuff, he carried himself like a leader, like a quarterback, very serious, very, workman's attitude. What was y'all going over? Like, what was some of the things you would put in his ear to help him get better as a quarterback?
Man, we went from day one, we just started from the ground up. We always talked about our feet. Yeah, Joker had a cannon, had to tweak a few things with his throwing motion, very, very small things, but everything came down to his feet. So you was, if you saw some pregame, we were working footwork still, like we're in practice.
Yeah,
we're working game speed footwork. Get your feet here, point your toe here, man. Get your base here, and that's what helped take him to another level. And of course, like I said, he got some things that God gave him that you can't coach. But the great thing about him is he listened to everything I said, man. He never was like, coach, I don't know. Why are we doing this? If I said let's do this, he did it, man, to the best of his ability. We watched film. First one to live, he strong as an ox.
Okay.
People don't know that. In the weight room, he a monster.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he a monster in the weight room. And he just, he was just a great kid, man. I love that dude. Everything, I owe that kid a lot.
Yeah. What is the expectations at a school like Cedar Hill for those who may not know? Like what I'm pretty sure you gotta do a lot of behind the scenes stuff that nobody will know. But what's the expectations at a school like that?
Win state or be threatened to be fired by somebody.
Wow. Just like that.
That's it, man. Right. I guarantee you right now, some people Cedar Hill went to the third round and have no idea of the adversity they have to deal with. And lost 5 coaches, 6 coaches.
Yeah.
And there's some people that are gonna be like, they can't coach, they need to be gone.
Wow. Is it a lot of politics at a big 6A school, coach?
Politics at a 2A school.
Okay. Yeah, now that's real talk. Wow. So you get out that big run, y'all suffer a tough defeat to Katy. And they were a really good team. I was at that game. They were big, they were good. Coming into that you was at that school, what was the thought? Did you think this is the year that jobs going to be open? Because y'all had a lot of guys from that staff, man. Including you, that ended up getting some jobs at other places. What was your thought during that time of coming out that defeat? Was it let's get back to the work, or was it, and let me strike while the iron hot?
We were thinking honestly, we're gonna have opportunities to get jobs, and but I still thought I was like a couple years away, man. My main focus was I'm gonna turn Cedric Harden into an All-American.
I like that mindset. Wow. Okay.
That was my main focus. I'm gonna turn Ced into an All-American quarterback. And you can ask people. I told people Ced, and he struggled this year. He had a little rough season and everything. But that was my mindset. If I'm gonna coach Ced, he's gonna be an All-American. And then if some jobs come open, they come open, and I was sitting in Coach Gates' office and I got a call, and the rest is history.
Yeah. So you got that call. Walk me through that call. Walk me through the feelings, but the feelings you felt when you got that call.
Well, I got the call to apply for the job.
Okay. When you got that call, did you think I'm finna get it, or just let me go on and put it in?
I'm gonna apply. I don't know if I have
Okay.
a chance. I might have a chance. It's Coach State. I'm from there. I'm 16 or whatever, how many ever years in, and then they call me to interview, and I'm like, oh man, maybe I do have a chance. I
Okay.
interview, and I think I did really well. And man, it was some cats interviewing for this job, some big time cats.
Wow,
And
Coach.
I make it to the second round, meet with the superintendent, and I killed it. I was like, yeah, I think I got it. So I'm in Lubbock for a week. I fly back to Lancaster, to Dallas. Man, I'm chilling on my couch on a Sunday, and I get a call from the superintendent, and she says, how would you feel about coming back to Lubbock? And I started crying, and I couldn't talk, and I was like,
wow.
Of course, I would love to come back to Lubbock, man, and like for African American to get a job at a place like Lubbock Coronado on the west side of Lubbock, it's a big deal.
Yeah,
it's a really big deal, man.
Yeah,
I'm super blessed.
Did you so you got that call? What made you think that you knocked it out the park, Coach? What you say you felt that? What made you feel like I crushed this interview process?
Because I feel like I knew and understood things that nobody would know. I'm from here. So I got a little, I'm from Lubbock. I'm from Coronado. So I have a feeling about it. I have a little bit more passion when I talk about this place than anybody that's going to come interview. And then, being a career and college advisor and being a recruiting coordinator, education is something that's always been important to me. Like, you go to my Twitter, it says education changed my life, saved my life. So I was able to talk about things like test scores and, the school rating and, TEA stuff that I don't know if everybody was really down with, man. And I think I kind of impressed some people with just passion and just understanding the academic side of being a successful program.
That's a nugget, boy. That's a nugget right there. If you know nuggets, he just said a nugget. So I like that. So you got that. Did you broke the news to Coach Lynn? How was that like? What did he say to you?
Me and Coach, I interviewed for a couple jobs, man. I interviewed for a job at the same time. I interviewed for a college job,
Okay.
And I told Coach Lynn, like, man, I got it. And I'm talking to Harris at the same time because I know he's interviewing at a couple places, and we're like, Coach Harris, I got it. Coach Harris was like, I got one too.
That's good.
Like, and we were getting ready for boot camp in Cedar Hill, and it was my turn to get up. We all talk about something, and it was my turn to get up and talk to the kids. And I talked about my thing, and I ended it with like, hey man, I just want to let you guys know that I'm leaving. And I'm only leaving because of you guys. I'm leaving because of you, Cedric. I'm leaving because of you, Harvey. I'm leaving because of you, Jalen Peoples. I'm leaving because you guys played so well that people thought that I would have an opportunity to run a program. So I just thanked all those kids, thanked those coaches, man. I'm emotional, man. I'm crying, and got ready to get on a plane and come to Lubbock, Texas.
I think that's powerful though, Coach, and I'm glad that you put the emphasis on the kids, because I think if you're not careful, we can get into kind of a lack of a better word, a pissing contest to make it seem like it's my scheme. No, you got a 4-star corner, you got a 4-star quarterback. Like that's good that you gave some credit to these kids, because a lot of times, some coaches it turns into an ego thing.
Nah, man, it's always been about. I mean, kids win games, man. Kids make plays. You need coaches, but like I was a very small part of what happened at Cedar Hill, man. I was a very small part of when we went to State and Wiley. We went to the semis in Crosby, man. Like I won Coach of the Year this year at Coronado, but man, I'm a real small piece of this huge puzzle.
Yeah, still congrats on that, Coach.
Thank you, man. I just so happen to have a freaking title. But I ain't never changed. I ain't gonna never change, man.
So what from Cedar Hill, from Spruce, from all these schools, what's some of that collective wisdom that you have when you're going up into Coronado? So now you get that job, you got that head coaching job in your hometown, a school that you play for. When you, as I'm going here as this head coach, what are some things I'm fit to instill for this program?
My hat says Ohana. That stands for family. So that's the first thing we talked about when we got here. You know, you have to be able to take care of each other. You have to love each other. If you don't do those things, you won't be successful. And you know, being at Spruce, being at Wiley, being at PD, being at Cedar Hill, I know I have an understanding of how to deal with I've coached every type of kid. Kids that live in $1 million homes, kids that live in extended stay hotels.
Wow.
I can deal with every type of kid. You know, I'm from the hood, man. But I went to school in an affluent area. I went to college that was 1.5% black. So I know I went to elementary with all Hispanics. I know how to deal with every type of person you can throw at me, and I understand that you can't do anything without family and taking care of each other. So that's the mindset here, man. Is family. We're gonna outwork people, and we're gonna take care of each other.
How did you build your coaching staff, Coach?
Hard, bro. Nobody wants to come to Lubbock.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody from Dallas wants to come to Lubbock. So I call our staff a renegade staff. You know, I knew I didn't want to call plays.
Mm-hmm.
So I hired a guy from Lindsay, Texas. I think it's like a 2A. Put up like 500 yards a game, 53 points. I'm ignorant. Hired him, a 28-year-old young white guy. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know he know how to score points.
You just dropped the nugget, Coach. Is there a reason why you didn't want to call plays? Or in high school, did the head coach even call a lot of plays in high school? I wouldn't think so.
Riley Dodge called plays.
Okay. So some
Eric
do.
Williams called plays at PD. It's a lot of head coaches that call plays.
Now you didn't. Why?
I wanted to have access to the whole program. So I wanted to know what's going on defense, what's going on special teams. I don't want to show any type of favoritism to one side of the ball or the other. You know, and I'm the athletic coordinator, man. There's so much going on here. Like I'm in over 14 sports or something crazy like that. So I just didn't want to, and I have no ego. I don't have to call plays to be happy. And I've never called plays from the sideline. So I'm not going to get a head job and try to do something different. That's stupid.
Yeah. Real talk. Real talk.
I've been
Okay.
in the press box forever. So why try something stupid? So I'm going to hire somebody who I feel is better than me. I feel Zach Burtwell is better than me. So
what was you looking for in one when you picked him and like I say he scored all these points? What was you looking for in that OC? Before you hired him.
I wanted to keep the offense somewhat similar to what they did last year.
Okay.
I had the Gatorade Player of the Year last year. Like,
okay.
He's at Mississippi State. So I wanted to keep a guy. I wanted to be wide open. And I knew I could bring some of the things I learned at Cedar Hill, some of our H-back, tight end stuff. I could mesh it with him, but I wanted a guy that called plays, was wide open. His quarterback threw for 4,300 last year. I wanted a guy that could do that, man. So hired him. Defensive coordinator. I went down to San Antonio and hired a guy that not a whole bunch of people know about. He's at San Antonio Highlands. I hired a guy named Andrew Roy. You know, people like, what is man doing? But you know, my offense coordinator is from Sweetwater, which is down the road. My defense coordinator is from Abilene. So I had to make sure to hire guys that were West Texas guys because Lubbock ain't just the place for everybody. True. I didn't want to hire guys that come to Lubbock and then their wives be like, I hate it. Then they shoot the deuce on me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's smart, Coach.
I had to hire guys that were familiar with this area, familiar with this type of ball, and I knew they wouldn't just shoot the deuce because their wives hate Lubbock. And I ended up hiring, I think, 8 guys to the staff, 8 or 9 guys to the staff. Had a receiver coach that was at like Blooming Grove, small town, O-line coach from ARP, small town. What I wanted to do was I wanted to hire guys that would come to Coronado and they would see our stuff and be like, man, this is big time. And they would want to take care of it because they're coming from smaller schools with not a lot of resources. So now I'm like, hey, you got resources now. What can you do with it? Like you ain't having to play everybody both ways. You got enough practice time. You got an hour. You got a full practice field. You got a nice weight room. What can you do with these resources? So, I mean, I think everybody I hired was from a smaller school. I hired a middle school coach from here in town to make my inside receiver coach. You know, we a renegade staff, man. We from all over the place. We didn't know each other. My O-line coach and OC coach knew each other, but we brought it together. And I wanted to have a mix. I wanted to have, you know, white coaches. I wanted to have black coaches. I tried to get Hispanic coaches because kids need people that they can look up to and they can relate to.
I like that. And I do. I because it's a team. It's a team playing now that you know their coach is a certain demographic, and not saying it's right or wrong, but it's cool when you see it a mixture because it's like a family. You know, family, you got everybody involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's I like what you said, Coach. How you put that stuff together. So what was the expectations for this year coming into this year for you, that first year?
Man, I felt like I had to win or get fired.
Okay.
You know,
Y'all did good for that
I
first
felt
year.
like,
To me,
you know, they went 12-1 last year, man. They were
Mm-hmm.
successful. They didn't bring me in here to go 500. You know, they didn't bring me in here to just be average, man. And that's the pressure that I put on myself.
Yeah.
To push me to get busy, to get stuff
Mm-hmm.
done. You know, and my big thing was I just didn't want to let the people down that believed in me. So I put a lot of pressure on myself. When we started the season 0-3, bro.
Woo.
You talking about questioning, what am I doing in my life? Can I coach? Do I need to go back to the drawing board? Coach Lynn, man, what do I do? So I start bringing out all my Coach Lynnisms, man. All my stuff I learned from him, everything I learned from Howard. Like, get this thing turned around or your butt gonna be back in Dallas as somebody assistant. And that was just my mind frame, man. Like, I gotta win. I've always had a, you know, win or be gone model. And I learned that I probably got that from freaking being at Cedar Hill, but you know, that's what I carry with me now, man. Started off 0-3, won a game, went on a run, won the district title, man.
Wow, won district that first year. Now, when you say you know those isms from Coach Lynn and different stuff like that, what is some of those little nuances of trying to encourage yourself when you're 0-3? Like, what does that look like? What is that? You know what I'm saying? Because you're 0-3, it's, you know, the world against you. Like, what's that? What is it that make you say, okay, it's 0-3, but I'm gonna try to turn it around?
Now, you know, there's a lot of people that didn't want me to be here. They didn't want me to get this job, you know. So I couldn't focus on the negatives.
Mm-hmm.
I had to focus on the people that trusted me. You know, I had a long talk with my principal, man. She's like, man, we still trust you. You know, just keep doing your thing. It's gonna happen. I got your back. You know, and just to hear things like that from your principal is major. You know, to hear things from your AD, like, just keep pushing, is major. You're close. You know, we knew we were close. We've been turning the ball over. So, you know, it was just trying to get the kids to continue to trust the system, trust a new young head coach, which is hard to do with 27 seniors, and keep building and bringing them together. And when it clicked, it clicked.
What week did it click? Around week 5, week 6? When did you probably? Week 4, okay.
Week 4 against Midland High.
Okay,
we played an option team, and that's when I brought in the big trust motto. Trust each other. And that's all we started talking about was big trust. We made it our thing, man. Got to put on a hat and, you know, circle of trust. You know, trust yourself, trust your coaches, you know, trust your players. We trust y'all. And then that's when things started going in our direction.
How important is the support of administration for a head coach?
Extremely important. Like, you know, if you don't have support from the principals, because they run the building, stay building. You know what I'm saying? Stay building. If you don't have support from them, you're doomed, because they control everything. They control the schedules. They control when you can leave, when you can get out of school to go to a game. You know, they control when you can have your kids, what you can do with your kids. You know what I'm saying? So I'm blessed, man. My principal was a coach. Her husband is a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
what is that? Is it? Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you good. Go ahead.
Is that? What's the ratio of that being a norm, meaning the coach and administration on one accord, or is that something that's not always there?
No, it doesn't always happen, man. You got principals that didn't hire the head coach, that don't like the head coach, and they're gonna do everything in their power to make it hard on the head coach. Then you have principals that are down with sports. They understand that high school athletics drive the school. High school athletics drive the city. You know what I'm saying? So they understand high school athletics are giving the kids the opportunity to further their education that they might not have.
You there, Coach? Coach talking about the importance of an administration as it relates to head coaching. And you want both of them to be on the same page, on the same accord, and how important it is for the community. Like Coach froze up on us. Let's see. Are you there, Coach? We've been talking to Coach for about an hour, man, dropping a lot of nuggets. Coach DJ Mann from Coronado High School. Okay, Coach, you back? Yeah, it froze up on me, Coach. Okay, it froze up for about a minute. Okay, Coach. So, I think we were talking about the administration, but yeah, that's cold that some kind of have that thing. But man, you should want the sports program to be good, because once the sports program be good, that's good for the town, the city, the community, and so on and so forth. So walk me through the playoff game, Coach. I know y'all suffered a heartbreaker, didn't y'all?
Yeah.
Okay, walk me through that one.
First playoff game, we won like 60-something to 7. We're successful. We're having fun, man. Second playoff game, we're playing another option team, Midlothian. We want to be the Metroplex team, man. That was our rally cry, and when you turn the ball over 5 times, you're not going to win.
Okay.
And our defense played a phenomenal game. We had 530 yards of offense that game.
Wow.
We just turned it over 5 times. Caught what we thought was the game time touchdown to make it 21-21. He's got 2 feet and bounce. The referee calls him out of bounds.
Wow.
Yeah. Would have tied it up with 8 minutes left in the game, and they didn't score in the second half. I don't think they scored in the second half. Defense played a phenomenal game, man. We turned it over and ran out of time, man. They got the last drive, and we go kick a field goal. They get the last drive, go for it on 4th and 1, get it, and start taking knees.
So you had a lot of seniors on the team this year, right, Coach?
Mm-hmm.
So what's your message for the underclassmen who are stepping up? What's your message this summer, this spring for those guys, or for the team in general?
Yeah, well, first I told those seniors, if this is the worst thing that ever happens in your life, you're going to have a great life.
Okay.
You're going to have a great life. If losing this game is the worst thing that ever happens to you, you're going to be just fine. You're going to grow up. You're going to be successful people to come out of Lubbock, Lubbock Coronado, and you're going to do great things. For those younger kids, man, I just tell them, look at those guys over there celebrating. Remember the feeling. Use that as motivation, but don't just let that drive you. We're going to win on relationships. We're going to win with love. But look at it and know that a lot of you guys are about to have to step up, and we'll be right back here next year with the opportunity to play on Thanksgiving.
What are some of the pillars of your program, Coach? Is it weight room? Is it guys got to get bigger? Is it, and it could be anything. I just randomly name those. But what's the pillars?
Discipline.
Okay.
All right. We're gonna be disciplined. That's our number one thing. That do things right. We're gonna be selfless. We're gonna be selfless. We're gonna take care of each other. We're gonna put the team before ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be tough mentally and physically. Toughness, mental toughness, physical toughness. And that's the lifting the weights. That's doing the hard stuff outside. It gets real cold out here. And then education defeats poverty. And those are our core values. So that's what the program is built on right there, man. And that's what we use as a driving force with everything we do.
We're going to get ready to wrap it up because we've been talking for about an hour, man. Really been flowing a lot of nuggets in this interview, coaches and players alike. Name a couple of your senior leaders who stood out this year, and name a couple guys, up and coming guys as well.
Will Boyles broke his arm first game of the year, and showed up to every meeting. We meet at 6:30 on Monday, 6:45 on Tuesdays in the morning. He was there at every meeting. And he had the opportunity to come back and play the last 3 or 4 games and had 5 catches a game, off a broken arm. Trevor Stevens, like Joker's got like a 4.8 GPA, caught for 1,000 yards. Caleb Pillow, cornerback, man, leader on the team, Antonio Malone. But the last one I want to mention, man, is a cat named Obi Williams. This is his 3rd high school that he's went to. He went to Cedar Hill as a freshman. He went to Mansfield Lake Ridge as a sophomore and a junior, and he followed me to Lubbock. He's my stepson.
Okay.
He didn't have to. He could have stayed. He could have stayed at Lake Ridge with his friends, with everybody he knows. And he took a chance to come out here to freaking Lubbock, Texas, to play for me, for a stepdad. So that means the world to me. that means more than he'll ever know, than people ever know, man, because he didn't have to, man. Kid's been to 2 middle schools, about 4 elementary schools. Like I said, this is his 3rd high school. So he sacrificed a lot to come out here with people he doesn't know, just to play for me, man. So that means the world to me. Like I said, that's my stepson. We got guys, our quarterback, Jet Curl, is coming back. Joker threw for 3,200 yards this year. John Curry, a linebacker, he just committed to Texas Tech yesterday. Carson Young, offensive line. So those are going to be the 3 guys that we rely on a lot. Ted Gilmore to make plays for us and to keep this thing rolling.
Let's end with this, Coach. Give me your definition of success, and then if you have any shout outs or any words you would give to a younger coach or a younger ballers playing right now.
Man,
we'll end on that.
Success to me is giving kids the opportunity to change their life by succeeding and learning things in football. That's being successful. Successful isn't necessarily like winning the state championship. That's fun, and I'm here to win games. But I feel like I'm here. I came back to Lubbock to change lives on both sides of town. So that is success to me. Advice to young coaches: be the hardest worker on the staff. You find the hardest worker on the staff and outwork him. Don't be sitting down when other coaches are working. If you do that, and love kids and take care of kids, like anybody can learn X's and O's. I can bring my son who's 10 to come in here and coach quarterbacks if I need him to, if he's willing to learn. But everybody's not willing to like work and do the small things.
Wow.
For players, man, get good people around you, and it's the same thing. Find the hardest worker and outwork the hardest worker.
Wow. That's it, man. A whole hour of fire, of heat. Coach DJ Mann from Coronado, man. Coach, I thank you. Thank you for coming on. I hope this blesses some other coaches and some other players who may listen to this down the line, maybe 2 or 3, 4 months from now. I hope they can glean something from it. Coach, I appreciate you so much for spending this hour chopping it up with me. I appreciate it a lot.
Anytime. And hey, man, keep doing really good stuff, man. You do great stuff, bro. Real talk.
Thank you, brother. Take care, man, and God bless.
God bless, man.
Okay, bye-bye.